All right, we're here. Thought my co-host would stay asleep, but guess she heard me come into the room and she said, "Well, let me wake up so I can get on and show my face." So, are you happy? Oh, no, you want to be camera shy. You happy? Wave. Anyway, so we'll get going. So I see Xavier Lucas has just committed to the Miami Hurricanes, and it's a big deal. The secondary has gotten some pieces to hopefully all this stuff can work itself out once we make it to spring ball because I feel like obviously with the exception of Brantley, which maybe Brantley will be back, but for the most part, all of these guys will be participants in the spring, so we'll be able to get a gauge of how well they will do. Now, kind of piggybacking off, kind of piggybacking off of what I said earlier today. Got Chris Kane in the building. Chris Kane, what
What
up?
what up? What up with you, brother? What up, yo? What's good with you, brother?
I can't call it, man. What's going on?
Oh, not much, you know. Same, you know me. Same shit, different toy. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
no more, no less.
yeah. So what do you think about since you're here? What do you think about the secondary pickups?
Well, I got to be honest. I like the secondary pickups and everything like that. We finally got the guy from Wisconsin today. That's a good look. But sorry, I just gotta see it, man. I gotta see it. I gotta see how they gel, how all of that coincide with each other. You know what I mean? I got to see how their secondary that's coming in here going along with everyone else that's coming in. I need to see how they gel on the fit. You know, but it is a good pickup though. He said he was gonna beef it up. He beefed it. He beefing it up. You know, and it's good though. But I want to see what kind of playmakers they're going to be. You know, how they coincide, the communication factor. I want to see what happens when it comes to knowing the assignments. I want to see what happens when it knows whenever you need the help, you know, over the top whenever you need it. You know what I mean? I want to see what they do when it's game time. I want to see what happens. No, matter of fact, I don't even want to see what happens in game time. I want to see how this is going to look on Green Tree. That's what I want to see. Because that's gonna tell that's that before you get on that field, I need to see what it look like on Green Tree. Because that's gonna tell me everything I need to know. You know what I'm saying? Because correct me if I'm wrong, but legend has it that Green Tree was the hardest workouts, hardest practices ever, and the game days was the easiest. So I'm gonna need to see how that rocks. You know what I mean? But other than that, good pickup though. I'm not gonna sell them short and say, oh, they bums, they this, they that, because you don't know what they're gonna do. Just like the dude from LSU, they said he was hurt. You know, we don't know what he's gonna do, but we seen what he was doing whenever he was when he wasn't hurt. So let's see what he does now for us. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really feel no type of way about it. You know, it's just a good pickup. You know what I mean? Good
Yeah,
pickups.
yeah. I mean, the interesting thing about this, I'm glad you brought up Green Tree because the perceived starter, he won't be participating. They said that he won't be throwing until basically after or back to full strength pretty much after spring ball. So basically, we'll be rolling into spring practice with Emory
Right.
and Judd. So, and then we got a young crop of receivers with the addition of C.J. Daniels, and we have a pretty good haul of guys that came in the secondary. So this really should be report should be that the defense should be looking better than the offense. right? I mean, that's the way.
Right.
I think the DBs, for the most part, they should get the better of the receivers. Because we're going to be trying out guys who play a lot versus some secondary pieces that were very much involved in their situations prior to coming to the University of Miami. So it kind of should be the flip of what it was last spring, where the offense was pretty much having their way and media personnel were doing their darndest to try to make it seem as if it was a 50-50 ordeal until we saw the spring game and we realized, like, yeah, the offense is head and shoulders better than the defense. And
Yeah.
we didn't know that the severity of the defense was what it was until obviously pretty much after the Florida game, I should say.
Right.
But as far as what's up, IMAX? As far as the pickups, man, I'm seeing that E word thrown around, and anytime I see that E word thrown around, I'm just like these high expectations because these guys are expected to come in and be better than their predecessors, which obviously in order for us to get to that level that we're trying to get to or make it or help get to that level that we're trying to
Right.
get to, I mean, they have to be better than those guys. So, like I said on my previous video, not the one I made today, but one of my previous videos, it's going to be imperative to see, like you said, from a communication standpoint, it's going to be imperative to see how quickly these guys can get in and digest the new playbook, because for some guys, this will be their third playbook that they're digesting. A guy like Charles Brantley, this very well could be his fourth playbook that he's digesting, even though the defensive coordinator that he played for at Michigan State this past year essentially was a mentor. Yeah, Cuban, we laugh. He was a mentor to our defensive coordinator because they worked together dating back to Maine, and he was a pretty good defensive coordinator himself. So he may be able to pick it up, a lot quicker. But as far as the rest of the guys, man, it's going to be imperative. You know what I mean?
Yep.
As I said, I feel like that the current DC, he's walking into a defense that I feel like is obviously older when we talk about maybe some of the core pieces that are still here than maybe what Guidry and even Kevin Steele walked into. So, I mean, he has personnel, to do what it is that they're trying to do. I don't know if he's going to be more of a man guy or it's going to be more zone. Obviously, we'll see, how it is. Like I said,
Yep.
I'm not going to pretend like I watched any Minnesota games. Like I said, the closest I got to that, like I said, was watching a couple of Michigan State games, and basically what I saw was defensive line that got after it. You know what I mean? So, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like I said, it's up in the air. But like I said, I'm not gonna start throwing the E word out. You know what I mean? The only, like I said, I'm not gonna pretend I watched any of these guys play. I'm not gonna.
Mm-hmm.
All I have to go by is what PFF said, and obviously their grading is a little off in certain
Right.
things. I really understand the totality of it, but if kind of going off of those grades, the best guy out of the group, regardless of transfer portal ranking that we got, was the young man that we got from Washington State. His
Right.
play was pretty much steady. Everybody else was
Mm-hmm.
pretty up and down. But but we'll see. You know what I mean? It's high expectations for a lot of these guys, and it's good that they have multiple years. That's good and bad, right? Because
Right.
it's good that you got multiple years because you hope that you stay here for more than 1 year at Miami. But then it's kind of bad because, like, if you don't like it, you can leave again. You know what I mean? So
Right.
we'll kind of
Right.
see how it shakes out.
Yeah, I mean, it's just to the point of where you just gotta know what that value of that E word is, right? You can't just throw that word out and just say, oh, they're this, they're that, because South Florida ball is completely different. You know what I'm saying? You got the average person that can, you know, be a dog, and now all of a sudden they get here, oh, they're elite. They're this, they that. But then when they get somewhere else, they don't hold up to par because you put them at that standard. And see, the problem is like I said, you could be elite at one place, but you get somewhere else and you deflate. You know what I mean? So, right, right. So basically, I feel that we just got to see it, man. That E word that you talking about, yeah, I don't. I'm not really keen on that because I haven't really seen a lot of E words like that. You know what I mean? Except for the QB that we had this past year. A selected few that can carry that E word.
I mean,
So but I'm not going to sell them short saying that they can't be. We just got to see it here because let's just be clear. We had this thing where, oh, he's elite here, he's elite there, and all this other kind of stuff. And then when he gets to Miami, oh, he's going to be elite here too. And then you regress. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta, we just gotta see it as different here. You can't bring a Michigan State player in and he's elite there, then automatically assume he's going to be elite here. You know what I'm saying? It's all about your fundamentals. It's all about your instincts. It's all about how you get coached up. It's all about your development. Hello, people. Hello. This is the thing. We have to develop. If you're not developing, what are you doing? You see what I'm saying? We can't use this whole thing as far as like, you know, you bring in these players and then all of a sudden they're just the best thing since apple pie and ice cream. Nah, they you got to see it because you may be good there. Let's see what you transfer from there from where you were at to over here. Now I will say, Cam Ward, he was that guy. He was that guy. That is what you call a leader, a general. He was a field general because he took what he had from Wazoo and brought it to Miami and made it even better. You see what I'm saying? So if they can do what he did, or even come close as far as from where their distinction is, and I'm not trying to compare, Cam Ward as a quarterback to a wide receiver. I'm just talking about as far as leadership skills, fundamentals, communication. You know what I'm saying? No regression, always in a positive way. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like that's what I want to see as far as that. That's what I want to compare to, not the skill set, because there's two different skill sets. I want to see where your mind is with your football IQ, because that's going to be very important for what this new DC has been talking about. You know what I'm saying? So I just need to see that. I just want to see it. I love it. I love the way that he came off and he projected himself during the introduction, but I got to see that, brother. You know what I mean? I got to see it.
oh yeah. Cuban Kane, what do you have to add to
Sir,
the
my name is Elite Cuban Kane, so don't disrespect my name. My name is Elite Cuban Kane. And
Yeah.
before I keep going on, Shad, you're a very disrespectful human being. Just want to say that. You and your little trolls at Anthony Edwards, just keep
you're
that
the
same energy.
you're the Anthony Edwards of our ordeal. You know what I mean? You show up
So I'm
again.
great. So you're saying that I'm great. I appreciate it. You know what
You're
I'm
great.
saying?
You're great against subpar competition, but when it's time to step up, can't
Hey
depend on it.
man, Anthony Edwards made the Western Conference Finals last year. You could hate all you want. The Timberwolves made a dumb trade, and what can you do about that?
They need to start. They need to start beating teams over 500. They lost to the Warriors, but we're not here to talk about.
Yeah, I know, I know. I just got to
We're,
get
we're
on you.
not. We're not here to talk about guys who do not perform against equal competition.
So you talking about Miami Hurricanes?
We're talking about Anthony Edwards.
I mean, Miami Hurricanes don't do the same thing, but just quick thing. So you saw we got Lucas, right?
Yeah.
From Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Everybody's praising it.
Yes.
I'm not trying to hear it later on. Oh, he was bad, or everybody's praising him. Everybody's calling him elite.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to hear later on, like, oh, Lucas was, he didn't fit the culture, X, Y, and Z. I am not trying to hear it. So all this, now everybody's saying we have an elite secondary.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. I got to see that. I got to see. That's what they saying, Cuban.
That's what it is.
It's looking like it. It's
Nah,
looking like
There you
it's
go.
slim.
There you go.
man.
Come on.
Listen, listen. Looking like it and being like it are two different
But
narratives.
Well,
You know what I mean?
but
We
you
got
know,
to see it.
but you know, Chris Kane, this is what I'm trying to figure out, right? When they say it's looking elite, I mean, what are they basing? I mean, what are they basing this
I'm
off?
going to tell you what I'm
Right.
basing it
Well,
on.
how? Oh, you
Yeah.
know what, Hero? I'm glad you're here, right?
My
Because
man Studios on. Oh, here we go.
I need you to explain this to me, Cuban. I know Cuban, you're not finished talking, so let me you can finish what you're saying.
No, you go ahead. No, you go ahead. Go ahead. That's cool.
I have to hear what Hero say. Hero, break this down to me. How we have this elite crop of guys that just
Okay. First, I'm going to start off by saying Mario he held himself accountable. He said it was my fault for allowing the DB room to get this thin. We got down to 2 DBs, and that was my fault. So I said, okay. Now he's sincere by saying that by adding All-American freshman safety. Okay. That guy we got from Wisconsin, we wanted him badly last year. He chose Wisconsin. The guy matter of fact, he's supposed to be a safety. The guy started at cornerback and played pretty well at cornerback. And we had issues.
he wasn't a starter. He wasn't a starter at Wisconsin, but
No, he started some games.
he started one game last year.
Okay, well, he got some burn as a freshman at corner.
Yeah.
So one of our issues with our safety this year was coverage. So that's a plus. So
he wasn't that great in coverage.
Okay, well,
I got the grades right here.
Okay, I got you, freshman. You know, the guy's a speed. He's a track guy.
Okay, I like that.
Okay.
Is he fast as Jaden
He's
Harris?
a sub 1100 meter dash guy, and that's all you need at safety.
Is he as fast as Jaden Harris though? Jaden Harris.
He got the track official times to prove it. So I don't know how fast Jaden was.
Jaden Harris was clocked at 22 miles per hour.
22. Jesus. That's the Derrick Henry speed right there, boy.
What I can say, if the team, Wisconsin, known to play some good defense, can trust the guy at corner, he must have some fluid hips, you know. So now we got that DB from Arizona had 4 or 5 picks. I told Cuban Kane the other day, if you're a cornerback,
he's not good.
Man, he got 5 picks.
He's not good.
You got to be good. If you're DB, you're a cornerback. And you can get your hands on the ball 4 or 5 times.
But Hero,
that puts you on the. I did a breakdown.
Hero,
go look at all the teams that's still in there. Go look at how many interceptions they got.
But I'm just saying though, you know you can catch an interception off of an overthrown pass.
5.
The man only played 9 games.
For that corner,
he's not that good.
Why
he's the weakest pickup.
With 5
really?
He's the weakest pickup.
Then that's
what
good.
Now Studio, let me
if he's the weakest who started at Arizona with 5 picks, that's a good sign. Because not only we got 2 freshmen, all American.
He didn't grade out well. He didn't grade out well.
I ain't worried about PFF.
I have to be worried about PFF because I'm not gonna sit up here and pretend like I watch these games, and I'm not gonna sit up here and look at a 2-minute highlight and make this grand declaration that we got Darrell Reeves and Deion Sanders.
Let me ask you a question. How many picks did any one of our cornerbacks have this year? Frederick had
picks. We didn't have any picks.
Frederick had 1 or 2.
Well, I mean, it wasn't. I get what you're saying.
No, I'm serious, bro. As a cornerback, it's not easy to get picks because you got to be 1-on-1 on your man. They got to target you.
What did the picks look like? Were they elite coverage or they were bad throws? Because that makes a difference.
I would say it's a little mixture of both, but all I'm saying is
okay.
If let's just say it's a bad throw, That
So
means
let's say
you're in position.
you don't
You're
have to be.
in position.
You don't have to be in position to make an interception. They can throw the ball behind you. They can overthrow the receiver. Like, I mean, again, he's the weakest pickup out of this entire DB group.
Out of the PFF, he got the worst PFF grades. Is that what you're saying?
His overall grade was 53.5.
And this is during the year this past year, Shad.
Yes. His coverage grade was
Oh, yeah.
59 point. His coverage grade was 59.5. So when you say you got 5 interceptions here, are you sure you're not talking about the young man from Washington State? Are we talking about the guy from Arizona?
You know what? Let me make sure.
Please make
Yeah.
sure because
Okay, let's just say this. Let's just say this. It don't even matter which one it is. We got them on our team. And the point I'm making is we got guys that Mario addressed the issue. You got a guy that's out back there competing for a star position. He got 5 picks. He got something to say.
But
Not only
you know what?
Davis Richardson
Hey,
coming back,
I
DeMar
need to
Brown
know
coming
if
back.
he,
Man, we got a deep defense backfield room now. All of a sudden.
You say okay. So you said that Mario addressed the issue because the secondary was the problem, right?
Then
So
they didn't mean to get it that thin. Only 2 DBs we're down to.
okay, so now when we go to this spring game and all of this practice, we're gonna see how he addressed it. Did he address it the right way, or did he just put people in there just to be bodies? We're gonna see that. We're gonna see that because you addressed it. You addressed it now, but how did you address it? That's the question.
Guess what I told
That's
Cuban
the
Kane?
main question.
I told Cuban Kane, I said, most likely Beck won't play in the spring. So he's going to be playing against Emory, who's supposed to be a bad quarterback, and 2 freshmen. So if our DBs ain't out there dominating our offense, we got a problem.
let me see. Hey, Eldridge, I like Brantley and Ethan. I like those 2 guys. The
So I'll
rest,
let you guys talk for a
Like them
second.
boys limb. All the
So
boys
I got a question.
6'3".
I have a question. Out of all these portal cornerbacks, who would we have recruited out of high school?
Wisconsin guy.
Wisconsin,
Get him
right?
last year. Lucas.
Oh, Lucas, you talking about? We would have.
right?
Yeah.
So who was ranked higher, Lucas? So who's ranked higher, Lucas or number 20? What's number 20's name again from Chaminade?
I forgot his name.
Saquon.
We just Zaquan.
but
Zaquan.
Zaquan was ranked higher. Yeah, Zaquan was
Yeah.
ranked higher.
So we had a higher recruit, Zaquan, right? Was at Miami and couldn't start. So this is going to depend on these random ass portal players, cornerbacks, to save the secondary. Got it. Again, I'll address it again. If we do not fix our defensive line, we're going to have issues, right? It doesn't matter. We could have Darrell Reeves, Deion Sanders at cornerback. But if that defensive line doesn't get any pressure, it doesn't matter who's a cornerback. But
we got a lot of pressure. We just couldn't cover on the back end, bro. I wish we did have a Deion or a Darrell Reeves. We'd probably be still in the playoffs right now.
No,
we were, huh? Go ahead.
We couldn't stop. Yeah, we had bad linebacker play, bad D line play. It was going to look
all bad, Cuban. It wasn't all bad. It was just secondary confusion.
Bro, the secondary was bad, and we had nobody to cover the edge. The teams kept doing the same repeat plays over and over, just swapping sides. That don't sound familiar.
That's a whole Gidry.
Look, wait a minute. Let me Hero, I shouted you out of my video I did today. I need you to address this comment. We need to bring this back up. Last year, you got mad with James Williams because James Williams checked Kiko because Kiko wasn't doing his job correctly. Now, let me ask you this question. Do you feel like hindsight being 2020, and we saw what transpired this year, Do you change your opinion on James Williams going up and checking Kiko last year, or do you?
No, I don't. No, I don't, because James Williams ran his big ass mouth all since he been at Miami, like he's the big hoorah die. It took him I don't know how long to get it right. He ain't never really do nothing amazing with his 6'5" body. He ain't do nothing compared to what he was ranked.
Okay, I can agree with you on that, but you don't think that James Williams displayed a higher football IQ than Kiko did?
No, sorry.
Okay, Chris Kane, I'm gonna ask you that question. Do you remember that? You remember that situation?
Yes.
No. So refresh my memory because I've been out of the loop for a couple of days. I don't know what's going on.
What game was that? Was that Virginia, North Carolina? What game was
I
that?
can't remember exactly, but it was one of them earlier games in the year before.
Last year?
The year before,
it was last year. Like after the play, James Williams went up to Kiko and was like,
he got an argument on the field.
Like, bro, what are you doing? You know what I mean?
So Kiko punched his ass in the mouth.
Boy, you don't like James.
Like he know what he doing. Because he too much showboat. And we still got that issue. Like, I hate celebrating on second down when you make a stop and then third down they gut us.
But here you don't so you don't feel. Well, you've already answered the question. I'm not gonna ask you again. Cuban, do you feel like James Williams had a higher football IQ than Kiko?
Yes, I mean that's a dumb question, Chad. I mean, come on now, Chad. This team was extreme. I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend any kids, but these kids were extremely dumb, right? They were a dumb team, right? Last year, you lost 3 guys that were football smarts, and Danes Brown, Cam Kitchens, and Flag, right? And you placed them with Kiko. Kiko he's a missile. You can't tell him to think, or you can't tell him to, hey, you need to sit in this position, you need to do this and that. This is not, everybody wants to blame Guidry. It's not Guidry's fault. This team was dumb. Every time that they broke the huddle, they were talking to each other, right? There was nobody saying, hey, we need to do this, we need to do that. And again, I'm going to say it again this year. I don't know who the brain of the defense is going to be this year. If you don't have a brain on the defense, you're going to have the same issues. This team is not overly talented like that. What people keep forgetting, and I was on this on Twitter, Mario was hired for talent. He was not hired for scheme. If we don't have abundance of talent, we're going to be bad. It's going to look bad. We don't have abundance of talent on offense. We don't have abundance of talent on defense. And everybody's hoping for scheme. This is not a scheme coach. This is not Lane Kiffin, Sarkisian, so on and so forth. This is not a scheme coach. He's a talent. He acquires talent. So without talent,
talent connoisseur.
Yeah. So you're trying to fit 2 things that are not going to happen, right? And it's like Mario needs to fill this team not with players, with talent.
Okay.
Now,
these fans been complaining, talking about we ain't got talent year after year, but then they go watch them over there like at SMU, and then they mad that we let them go. I mean, come on, man. I mean,
hold on, sir. That was Manny's talent. That wasn't Mario's talent. There is no. Hold on, sir. I'm speaking, sir. There is no Mario talent out there. That is in the portal. That is completely balling. So your statement there, sir, is completely wrong. I understand if you said it was a Mario player and they're balling at SMU. There is no Mario recruit balling at SMU. Sir. It was Manny.
Whose recruit it was. We're talking about how our fans will turn on the players quick and then go back and look and be like, dang, we actually had a good one.
Okay. So Cuban, to kind of piggyback off what you said, if the pictures are any indication, if they're gonna give West Basant the number 1 jersey, then he very well may be getting the green dot this season.
Is he a brain?
1 jersey.
If those pictures are any indication of anything, unless that was just a generic jersey, he just had that, he just had it. But I mean, we won't know the numbers until up until spring. But if he's given the number 1 jersey, then I feel like he may get the green dot, and that's gonna be interesting. But
I don't even know why he was even doing all of that.
So
Studio, I would
Anthony,
ask
Anthony,
no.
everything is asking me who should we have hired. It's not who should have hired. It's the coach. You know, if you hire a talent coach, you go get a lot of talent. If you hire a scheme coach, you better be
that.
a scheme coach. It's
We'll
not.
get
It
to that.
doesn't matter who you hire. Just be who you are. Don't try to fake the funk after.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. So, Studio, off top, who do you feel is the most? Who do you feel like has the highest football IQ in our defense currently?
Currently on our defense right now,
Lord.
uh,
Oh,
I would say Bain and Messidor.
neither one of them can wear the green dot. So
Okay, you mean line? We need out of the linebackers then.
there's a lot.
That was Wesley.
This is a lot. Chris K, what about you? Who do you feel like?
Man, don't ask me that. Don't ask me that. Don't ask me that.
You got to be all right.
I would honestly say, you know, I would have to say Wesley, you know, for the most part. And because he's the one, I mean, it shows. It shows. You know, he stepped up from where he was in this is going to be his third year coming up?
Fourth year.
His fourth year. Okay. So this is probably his final year. This is it for him. From him stepping up from where he was last year to now, he's shown a lot of progress and a lot of promise. You know what I'm saying? So I would think that the IQ was a development factor that he needed. That was an upgrade. So I'm thinking that that's going to be. I'm thinking that it's going to be Wesley. But after everyone asks, I have a 2-part question to ask everyone as well. But yeah, I'm going with Wesley to answer your question.
Cuban, what about you?
Y'all saying Wesley? I mean, Coach Hayes has a show, the good, bad, and the ugly. Wesley takes a lot of bad angles, bro. You know, I am. Huh?
But who do you feel like has the highest IQ on the defense right now? Though?
I would say Frederic.
Frederic, you're going to corner.
Yeah, Frederic. Yeah, I would say a corner. And it has to be Frederic. And if it's not Frederic, it has to be number 20. I keep forgetting his name. But I don't see that from the linebackers. I see the linebackers. So this is the thing, you got to understand Nicholson, right? When he played for Florida State, he wasn't the smart one. He was a missile linebacker, right? He was like C-man, attack man, right? So all of his linebackers are not IQ type linebackers. So that's going to be an issue there, right? So I would say Frederic is our talent, our smart, the smart guy on the defense.
Cuban. That don't even make sense.
I'm gonna go with
saying that the linebackers regressed because it was Nicholson came here.
No, sir. No, sir. I said no, sir.
So when Nicholson got here, all of a sudden they took on his characteristics.
Sir, I didn't say that, sir. I say Nicholson coaches a different style. I never said Nicholson was a bad linebackers coach.
I ain't say that. I didn't say bad. I didn't use the word bad.
I didn't. What I said, sir. What I said. Hold on, sir. What I said. Sir, what I said, sir, hold on 1 second. Sir, what I said was Nicholson is a missile linebacker. He likes the Kikos, like C-man, hitman. He didn't really teach him, hey, scheme-wise. He's a hitman, hitman type of coach. That's all I said. I didn't say he was a bad coach.
All the linebackers are like him.
Yeah. They're all the same.
Why?
Look at them.
He didn't recruit them.
Huh?
He didn't recruit him, so why?
Yes, he did recruit him. Yes, he did recruit him.
Many recruits.
No. Flag was the
only one because he was a portal guy. Which
Flag was the man he recruited.
Mario brought him over here. So niggas have nothing to do with none of the linebackers.
Who was the linebackers, Studio?
All right, y'all got it. But to answer my own question, I'm gonna go with what's going on. I'm gonna go with Hero. I feel like Messidor probably is the brains of the defense. He's been here long enough. I think he's one of those guys. I think he's going to be a gym rat of sorts, right? So I'm gonna go with that. But Chris Kane, what was your 2-part question?
Okay. My question
Can go all night.
I want to ask is, what is our identity? Okay. That's part one of my question. Okay. What is our identity? And two, if we do have an identity, what is it? And if we don't have an identity, will we have one this year?
Well, I'll start. As far as
So,
an identity, I don't know what our identity is on either side of the ball. Because when you look at the defensive coordinator hires, all three of them pretty much were aggressive, but each one of them had a position group that needed to be the face of the defense, so to speak. I think Kevin Steele defense was he wanted better linebacker play, but we didn't have the linebackers to do it. Obviously, Lance Guidry he wanted the defense to run through the safeties. And I feel like our current DC, I feel like he probably is going to want the defensive line to set the tone. So, I mean, I really don't know what our identity is in terms of this. It seems like we're trying to recreate the identity year over year. I know what the head coach probably would envision it to be, but the current composition of the team, it doesn't necessarily fit that. And what was the second part of the question?
the second part of the question is going to be if we have one,
Okay.
what is it? If we don't have one, will we have one this year?
Oh,
Oh, and then I got an asterisk by this third question
okay.
afterwards. I just thought about it. This might be a good one. It might be
Okay.
a good one.
All right.
So,
If since we don't have one, we have one this year. I mean, I think we're gonna try to run the ball because again, if we look at the defensive coordinator hire, he didn't come from a situation where the offense in Minnesota was up tempo trying to get up and down the field. So I think that hire says a lot about the approach that we're probably gonna do offensively and trying to get Mark Fletcher, Jordan Lau, even Elijah. I mean, even Elijah Lofton, probably involved in the run game and maybe try to condense the offense down some, more two tight end sets and stuff like that. Maybe going back to what Cuban brought up about maybe some a little bit more max protection. So it'll be very interesting to see how much tight end usage we have this year because I do think we're probably going to be trying to lean more on the run game this year. So I think that's the
okay.
approach that we'll probably be doing. But the other two guys,
Okay.
Studio, what do you think? Well,
But let me get there before I get to Sir Studio. So this is something that I brought up to Coach Hayes, I think a couple shows ago. I'm like, the problem with this team and this program is we don't have an identity. So when you recruit, you don't know who to recruit because are you running a spread offense? Are you gonna with Manning, he said I'm running a spread offense and a 4-2-5 defense, right? Like him or hate him, you knew when you came here what you were gonna play, right? You knew you were gonna play. You're going to be a speedy person on the offense and on defense. Good luck, right? Because we didn't know. I didn't understand the defense that well, right? But with Mario, it's you recruit Chris Johnson, but you want to use him as a power back, right? It's like, what are you doing? You recruit Emery, but you want a mobile quarterback, but then you recruit it back. So it's like, as a recruit, is like I don't know what the hell we're trying to run, right? So it's like. That is a problem. This is why I said that this is a talent coach. This is not a scheme coach. So Mario is recruiting towards talent. He's not recruiting towards scheme. So I don't know that question, right? I think I asked Studios before. Are we running a spread, a power spread, a pro offense? On defense, are you running? Because when Guidry got here. He started a 4-2-5, then he went to a 3-3-5, and then last year, I don't know what the hell he ran last year, right? E. Brown could probably give you that answer because he said we had a top 12 defense. But
Where on college football?
Hey, you know me, I record shit. E. Brown and Studio said we had a top 12 defense before the Syracuse game. So,
what?
They said that, not me.
We did,
but
it was in the top 20s.
They said top 12.
How we were ranked. That was because y'all know why, and I'm gonna tell you why. You done?
I'm done there, Mr. Studio.
First of all, we do have an identity. The only problem was it got delayed a bit because of Cam Ward. Now, I just got outside and filmed the alignment of the planets. And it seems like this back is like the alignment. Everything's perfectly. No. Beck is the perfect quarterback for Mario. Baby. See, Cam Ward was so damn good, we got flustered with it. And then when he was in the Heisman race, it overwhelmed us. We went to spotting points to make it look good, trying to win the Heisman. And then they used that against us. Say, oh, y'all defense wasn't good enough. I'm like, damn, it bit us in the ass. Now, Guidry, he was just I think this a little bit above his, his ability. It's just, job was too big for him. I seen that when North Carolina, he couldn't figure out how to stop this hurry up offense. And then when he made that comment, I'm just throwing stuff on the wall, hoping it sticks. I said, man, he ain't teaching these guys what to do right. And I've never seen our defense this confused, ever. Pre-snap. Okay. So if we have an identity next year, yes, because we got the perfect quarterback. I argue if Beck was our quarterback, we would have been a tight end heavy U because he loves the tight ends. He would have fed Arroyo. He would have fed Elijah. He would have fed Cooper. What the Riley dude that went to Oregon? He would have fed him. But Cam didn't like the quarter. He wanted to razzle dazzle, wait all long, throw these amazing deep passes. Not that that was a little too much for us. Now we gonna rely on our run game. What Mario wants, he wants the power spread. He wants the tight end spread wide. He want to be able to run a little tight end dump off, tight end pulled runs. All he built for that. The line built for that. The running backs built for that. We got the tight ends for that, and we got Beck, Jayville native, who had won the SEC championship.
Oh, there you go. That's why. I see the bias now because Studios from Jacksonville.
He listen, I
see the bias now.
He got an identity. He just got derailed a little bit with this Heisman hoopla and all that. So now the plans are aligned right, just like 99. We got G'd out of the championship. The next year we came back and win it all. So y'all get ready for that.
No, I don't know about that.
So hold on.
That's all right. You remember you heard it here first.
No, yeah, and that's fine. So Shad saw it, right? Because Shad didn't want to shout me on his show yesterday. I have $1,000 bet studio out there.
I didn't see the bet.
I know. But Shad, studio, I got $1,000 bet. Do you want to take this $1,000 bet? Yes or no?
Oh,
man, you already bet 100.
No, but this is gonna be 1,000. I have $1,000 bet outstanding right now.
A new bet?
Yes, 11-0. I say we go under 11 wins. You're saying we're going over 11 wins, right?
No, me, you had a bet that we win more than 9 games.
No. But this is my $1,000 bet. I got $1,000 bet on Twitter right now. Are you willing to take this $1,000 bet?
Why would I take $1,000 bet when I can go to Vegas and get plus money for that? I wouldn't bet that straight up.
Are you scared? So you scared then? Just say you're scared.
If you're so confident,
if you're confident that Beck is going to win a Heisman, be the number 1 draft pick
this year. I ain't say that. I said
he said he's going to be better than Cam. You said he's going to be better than Cam.
I didn't say that either.
Well, so what are you saying then, studio?
I'm saying he's the perfect fit for the identity of which Mario wants to run.
So what is that identity, sir?
Power spread, run, play action, dump it to tight end heavy. You know what I'm saying?
So it sounds like TBD, right? Sounds like what we ran with TBD.
One thing I do know is TBD ain't got that wiggle back guy. Go watch some of Beck's scrambles. That boy got some wiggle. If he got to get that first down, he gonna get it.
So we got TBD. So you're saying that Beck is TBD?
No, on the contrary, my friend.
He's saying he's not. He's saying he's not TBD.
Way more athletic than him. I get their arm about the same, but I give Beck a little bit more awareness of his players and his football. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that man has
if the first play ain't open, he gets scrambled. He get panicky.
That man has a person. They have the same personality. You cannot have that personality as a quarterback. They don't like to talk to the teammates. You don't like hanging around with teammates.
Hold on. We'll get the Beck. Let's let it marinate a little bit. Chris K, what was your third question? We'll get the Beck.
My third question was, when was the last time we had an identity? Who was the coach that gave us an identity the last time we had it? Who was our coach?
Manny, he clearly said he wanted to run a 4-2-5 on offense and the spread on. He said at Miami, we're no longer going to run this power stuff. We're going to run the spread and the 4-2-5 defense. It was straightforward.
Oh, hold on. One more thing. I'm sorry. That's what Mario said about our defensive identity in his recent thing before that. He said we need to be a 4 down, send our man and go. So he basically saying he want to run a basic 4-3, man. Let turn his DN loose.
I mean, you can't. I mean, you can't run that type of stuff. Man.
Yes, you
Stuff is
can.
antiquated. It's antiquated. It's antiquated now.
No, it's fine. That's the thing, Shad. It's fine. But why didn't you say this year 1? Why are you saying this in year 4?
It's not.
Well, you know, still we're gonna bring that, man. You know, still.
But Studio, this is the reason why it's antiquated. We don't have a linebacker that we feel like can go out there and check a tight end or go out there and maybe cover a slot guy right now. We don't have
the same that guy. Put him out on wide. I put Popo in the middle. Man,
he's not that guy. He's a solid linebacker. He's not that guy.
Man, he's slim. He look like a wide receiver.
He's not that guy.
Who do?
Wesley look like a big tight end.
He's not that guy. He's a good player, but he's not that guy.
What you mean? Did you see his coverage ability this year? That's what part of his growth. What Chris Kane saw and I saw. The man backing up, getting pacing on.
Hold up. This is the same person that said that Kiko. Hold on 1 second, Shad. This is the same person that said Kiko run a 4-4. And we saw Kiko just get burned left to right. Don't listen to Studio. Studio be bullshitting out here.
Hold on. If you're going to put a middle linebacker out on boundary corner and expect him to recover any receiver or running back, you out your mind. I don't care what
you said he ran a 4-4. You said he ran a 4-4. I don't give a damn.
His acceleration ain't finna be what a linebacker or running back off that line is.
I agree with that, but I don't want to disrespect Chris Kane question. So let me answer the question.
No, you good, man.
I probably would. I probably would agree with Cuban on
elite Cuban.
Like, come on, man.
There's the E word again.
I'll agree with him on that. I don't know who this is. Top 12. Somebody.
And E. Brown.
That's too funny. Studio, what about you? You'll probably say Mario this year, won't you? Or
What
last
was the question again?
When was the last time we had an identity?
Ooh, snap.
Right.
I would say that year Manning came and was defensive coordinator. We had a defensive identity.
2001, man. Come on, stop with all the 2001 was the last time we had an identity. Come on, what's hard about that question?
Brian, that's a long time ago.
No,
man.
we ain't gonna just say just because it's a championship year.
Okay, okay. Here's the thing. Okay, you can't say I should have made this clear. You can't say 01. We already know what that identity was. Other than them, other than that national championship, other than that GOAT team, okay. What other year did Miami have an identity?
We have an identity. We have an identity of losing damn games, man. That's what our identity is right now.
Okay. I
ain't gonna lie though. It seems like our identity is being this explosive offenses that produce top draft pick quarterbacks now.
Did we have an identity last year?
Yeah. The number one offense in the nation is an identity.
No. What was the identity, sir? He asked you a straightforward question.
Number one offense in the nation is an identity. We'll carve you with our air tag.
Well, let me
that's an identity.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, then, Studio. If that's our identity, why are we going to revert back?
I'm not necessarily saying we're going to revert back. Remember, When Beck went and won the SEC at 4,000 something, y'all damn near the same numbers. Can't Ward at.
So he's Cam Ward. That's what you're saying, right? Shannon?
I'm just saying
No,
it ain't gonna look like Cam, but the numbers might be comparable.
So he's gonna win. He's gonna win the Heisman. He's gonna be up for the Heisman and be the number one pick.
That first year, that year, that previous
No,
year.
sir. I'm asking you a question direct.
Yes.
Is he gonna be up for the Heisman and be the number one pick?
Campaign this year? Yes, we will.
Oh wow, that's some high. That's a high standard, boy.
He needs it. He needs it.
That's some high. That's a high standard, there, boy.
What's going on, E. Brown? What's going on?
Hey guys,
E. Brown in the building.
Every year when we come into the season with the University of Miami, what does all the pundits and everybody who are fans say about the team?
They say too much.
Or the Miami Hurricanes back.
It's hard. It's hard to keep up with stuff that they say because they constantly change. It's hard to keep up, Brian. That's a trick question.
They're always asking, are the Hurricanes back? And at the end of the season, what do they always say? Same old Miami Hurricane. The same old Miami Hurricane.
Right.
We're back.
But when the last time we had back-to-back, possibly number one pick quarterbacks? Like Cam's gonna be first quarterback pick this year, and it's possible Beck is gonna be also a top first round.
We're gonna have to see that from next year.
Don't give me this top first round stuff. You said he was going to be the number one pick in the Heisman Trophy candidate. Don't give me this top whatever. You said he was going to be number
one. Draft pick. That depends on need. Now he might be the second, third pick, but what I'm saying is he will probably be the first quarterback pick next year.
It's possible.
So when the last time we had the possibility of having two back-to-back first pick quarterbacks? Since we want to ask when the last time we had an identity, when the last time our quarterback's been that?
I mean, this might be unprecedented, in consecutive seasons. I don't think ever.
Ever, bro.
That's to my knowledge, unless never as long as I've been alive, and I've been on this earth for almost 40 years.
All right.
Hold on. There's a guy here, Mr. E. Brown. E. Brown talk about pontificating and all this stuff. Mr. E. Brown, after the Georgia Tech game, the Wake Forest game, you came on here, you'll be one of them fanboys talking about, y'all always being negative with his top 12 defense. You were one of these people, Mr. E. Brown. Why all of a sudden the change the tune, Mr. E. Brown?
Well, I mean, statistically, we were in the top 12.
It is. I mean, that is what they say statistically.
But hey, listen. But the last six games proved that we were not a top 12 team. But right. I know the question came up. What is our identity? The identity of the University of Miami for years and years has always been started at quarterback. And then it ventured out into our wide receiver. Then we had a good running back. Then we had a good middle linebacker. Then we had a good defensive tackle. Then we had a good strong safety. That's the identity of the University of Miami. Do we have that on our team right now? Do we have those positions filled right now?
E. Brown, I think you have it wrong. Every time we were good, we had an elite, a dominant defensive line. If we don't have our dominant defensive line, this program has never been good.
Yeah.
The quarterbacks were just okay. We had Hall of Famers at defensive line.
Yeah.
Well, I just said that. I said the defensive tackles because
we started with quarterback. You should have started with defensive line. It's defensive line at Miami. If we don't have a dominant defensive line, we're not good.
Yeah. Well, let's look at it. When we won the national championship, our quarterbacks were the ones who were leading the team. You got to look at Kozar, Testaverde, Kelly. What's the kid that played in 2001? What's it? Dorsey.
So Ed Reed didn't play. Ed Reed was not the leader.
Those were the guys. That was the leading factor with our football team. When our football team had a quarterback that was.
Hold up. I don't put the cart before the horse. I want to talk about the defense a little bit more. We'll get over to the offense. Try to bring a little structure to the show tonight. Let me ask this question. Do y'all feel that Heatherman or Hetherman, but I call him aggressive eyes.
You call him what, Jack?
I call him aggressive eyes. That's all I saw on Twitter. He's aggressive and he look at his eyes. He's a Viking. But I'm gonna ask all four of y'all. I'm gonna start with E. Brown. E. Brown, do you feel that the current defensive coordinator is a better hire than Lance Guidry? Is he an upgrade of Lance Guidry?
Listen, if I could answer that question, I will pick all.
I'm just saying, in your opinion, just a yes or no. We don't have.
No, I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay. Studio. Oh, I can't wait for this answer. Studio must be out on stars again. Okay, Cuban, do you feel like the aggressive eyes is a better hire than Lance Guidry? Is he better than Lance Guidry?
I'm not gonna be like LeBron. I don't know this coach, man. I don't know, bro. So it's me. I don't know, man. I'm not gonna be like people are acting like I've seen a bunch of Minnesota games and I know what scheme. I don't even know what scheme they run, right? I'm not even. I've never seen Minnesota play football, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
But I'm just
Me neither.
The information that we have, Lance Guidry was actually a head coach before. It was at a lower level. He was a head coach before.
Really?
Started in high school. He's had to work with inferior talent and try to make it work and stuff like that. And obviously his resume. So I mean, all we can base this on his resume, honestly. But I mean, like I said, I've given my answer already. I don't feel like
so you want me to use the information from the CCC to tell you that he's an elite?
That's not information from the CCC. That's easily Googleable information. I can look at your resume. I don't need the CCC to tell me what your resume is. That's public information.
Yeah, but I need to see who you played against and all that stuff, right? I don't.
Well, if we want to get into all that, I mean, Minnesota, they didn't play a dominant schedule this year, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm just looking at it from a resume standpoint. I don't feel like it's a better hire.
Well, the resume built by Guidry was already there. I mean, the man had a good defense the year before.
That's what I'm saying.
We don't know anything about this guy from Minnesota. I mean, Lance Guidry had our defense ranked in the top 12 this year, even if it was horrible.
There you go, top 12. There we go. That top 12.
Chris K, what about you? Do you feel it's a better hire or this?
I mean, to be honest,
because the objective was if you're relinquishing someone of their duties, the person that you bring in is exponentially supposed to be better. I don't feel like he's exponentially better. I don't think he's better at all. But again, that's just me. But,
well, to me, right? Let me just say this. I haven't seen Minnesota games or anything like that. Like, I agree with Cuban on this because I'm not sitting here watching Gopher games.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not watching Gopher games and all of that. Now, statistically, by his stats, it looks like he is that guy. But again, I can't sit there and say that because I haven't had an eyeball test or anything. And even if I would have sat here and I would have said, okay, yeah, I did see the Minnesota games or whatever the case is. That's up there in Michigan. You have to take all of what you got and put that down here in South Florida. Once you put our guys in orange and green, and those statistics are the same that you had up there in Minnesota, he was like with the fifth. They were rating fifth in the country for the defense, the highest defense, and they only lost to Penn State by maybe 2-3 points.
Yeah.
You know, who made it to the playoffs?
Yeah.
They had, they went against these different teams. You can compare what they had. He had a bigger resume in Minnesota because of the talent that he faced compared to what Guidry had. Guidry played at Marshall. The only big game that we know about was Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? We really don't know anything else about Guidry as far as other big games and stuff like that. Where did he play at? La Tech? He played at Marshall and stuff like that. that's all well and good, but I could say that this guy that we got here has a bigger resume as far as with talent up there in the Big Ten. You know what I'm saying? But as far as him being a better hire, I got to see how he actually formats what he had from the University of Minnesota to UM. So there's only one UM. Okay, let's just get that straight.
Chad,
Okay,
I do
let's
have
just put that up. You know,
I do
So,
have an answer to that.
I gotta see it.
Guidry was a better hire. You know why? Because he got an extension last year, right? So if our head coach thought he was that good, right, I have to believe he was that good. He got an extension last year, so I would say this is a downgrade hire between Guidry
well,
and
So you believe
whatever
Mario?
Doug
no,
Williams.
well, hold on, because
We go back.
hold on, because this guy here got an extension from Minnesota
Yeah.
as well, but we just snatched him up.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? This ain't like the type of coordinators that was like at Michigan, where we was like, oh, we getting Josh Gaddis, good, get him, bye, get him out of here. We don't need him. Good riddance. You know what I'm saying? They were more of the fact of like, dang, he got the extension, but when we came and got him, they were hurt because of the defense of what he did in year one. See, now when you both comparing them both, yes, Lance Guidry did get an extension, but so did this guy. They just did it at two different programs. So now we're at the same. Now we're back at the basis of the same of the same level of playing field now. So they both
Not
got their
really.
own respective. They got their own both respective extensions when it comes to that. But the only thing is, we seen Guidry. You know what I'm saying? Because he was here at UM. I got to see what he does here at Miami himself. This dude from Minnesota. That's about it. That's the only difference.
Just quick rebuttal, Chris King. LSU wanted Guidry, right? So I don't know anybody in college football that wanted this dude from Minnesota, right? So that is a difference.
Miami wanted him.
Okay, and you just said
You said who wanted him?
Guidry. Now you said Mario gave Guidry a extension, so it must mean something. So if Mario wanted this guy from Minnesota, it must mean something, Cuban.
It means that he's gonna get fired next year if he gets a raise. That's what he does. He just fires. He's gonna be fired pretty soon. That's all I know.
Oh man.
Well, let's just hope he does it.
The Miami Hurricanes, as long as Mario's the coach.
So, but Studio, you had stepped away for a minute. So, do you feel that this is a better hire than? Maybe I asked the question the wrong way. The question really should have been: is this an upgrade over Guidry more so than?
Yeah. I think that's what you was saying. That's what you was trying to say.
And it's unfair to compare that because we saw 2 years of Guidry with us.
No, I'm just.
Right.
But no, it's not unfair to ask it because if you're releasing a guy who was pretty much a Brawls nominee, didn't make it to the finals, but he was a Brawls nominee. That meant that out of 134 programs, he was one of the few assistant coaches that people looked at and said he's doing a damn good job at his.
If I'm basing on track record, I'm gonna say no because Mario has been firing coordinators left and right.
We don't have to.
Phil gone, Charlie Strong, Border War winner gone,
he's Guidry
gone. So the only one that stuck was Shannon Dawson.
Shannon Dawson and his homeboy, Mirabal.
You hear about Mario hiring the new offensive what that guy? A new offensive line guru.
Yeah,
What guru?
I forgot the name.
No, I didn't see that.
Well, Chad, you asked that question. Let me ask you a question. Is it an upgrade or downgrade between Manning and Mario?
See, he's still stuck on that Manning.
No. It's upgrade or downgrade. It's
Mario Manning done been to Penn State. He done been all the way to Duke, He's still holding on to that.
Answer the question, then, sir. Was it an upgrade or downgrade? That's all I asked. Don't worry. Don't get in your feelings, sir. Is it an upgrade or downgrade?
I mean, if we're looking at it currently, which we have to look at it 3 years of body of work, then I don't know. I don't think it is an upgrade. I think again we're at the same place we were 3 years ago.
No, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not. We got a way better offensive line. We got, like I said, back-to-back possibilities of.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. Let me rebut.
And he never won 10 games.
Hold up. Let me rebut that first thing that you just said. We're operating under two different schemes here. So Manny and Lashley, they were recruiting the offensive line for something different than what Mario is doing right now. So I can't just on the surface say that, well, yeah, the offensive line is better because they were being tasked with doing two different things.
What's your minute? The line has only got one responsibility.
No, it doesn't. Because again, think about this for a second.
What other responsibility does the line have to do other than block?
You could be a zone scheme offensive line. You could be a power offensive line.
Still blocking.
Could be it's different teams, sir.
It's still blocking.
No,
yes,
it's not,
it
sir.
is blocking, but there's responsibility. Because let's think about this for a second, right? If Rhett Lashley, offensive coordinator, he was using tempo. You don't need linemen that are 330, 320, 350 pounds running a tempo offense. That's counterproductive.
We did that this year.
You don't have an advantage having those guys there.
Offense ran real fast this year.
No, we did not. No, we did not.
Sometimes we did run fast, boy.
But we didn't do. But we
didn't run the tempo
often.
Like you saying. I understand, but
we didn't do it. We didn't do it often.
Okay, then. So did the coaches fail in teaching the scheme?
But all I'm saying is
that's another indictment on the coach. How are you gonna recruit a certain type of offensive lineman and be running a different scheme for? Is that bad coaching?
I'm not gonna say it's bad coaching. I'm just gonna say that
we're comparing Mario's regime to their regime.
They were looking for offensive linemen for different things. That's all I'm gonna say.
Ooh, you mean Mario versus Manny?
Manny was looking. Manny's looking for offensive linemen that are not 320, 330 some odd pounds. They're not looking for guys that size, because if we're gonna run tempo offense, I don't need guys, because my objective in the fourth quarter is not getting a lead and then milking the clock. No, we're gonna keep the pedal to the metal and go for your throat. Whereas Mario, I need 330, 320, because if we get the lead in the fourth quarter, all we're gonna do is turn around and hand the ball off. It's two different objectives here. So we can say that they're better if you want to, but again, it's two different objectives that you're trying to accomplish.
Most of the media is now saying we have an elite line. This is one of the reasons why Cam Ward chose us. Another reason why Beck chose us.
But this is what I'm saying though. They're looking at it. This is what Miami is trying to do. Miami is trying to accomplish this particular objective right here. There are other teams that offensive lines that are not as revered as ours that do different things, and they are just as successful.
Wait.
Ole Miss offensive line is not as revered as Miami, but they get the job done. SMU offensive line wasn't as revered as us, but they came.
Hold on, Chad. Hold on. This is the funny part.
They made it to the ACC championship game.
Well, Chad, you know what's the funny part? Everybody keeps saying Miami has an elite offensive line. Guess who had the best offensive line in the ACC this year? SMU.
I thought you were going to say Georgia Tech.
Based on what?
PFF, whatever you want to call it.
So PFF graded the entire line. It gives you the entire offensive line, or did you sit there and compile all the scores?
SMU won.
I'm gonna catch you in a lie here.
SMU, I'll send it to you. So,
studio. Send me a pic. I need to see.
SMU won an award for having the best offensive line in the ACC, bro.
Okay, so you basing it on that.
Y'all keep thinking. See, this is the thing. You keep forgetting what an eraser
hold on. Y'all,
Tell me, hold up.
Hold on, wait a minute, wait a minute.
I'm not finna even let them make this argument, Shad, because
No,
we're
wait a minute.
comparing Manning to Mario. Now y'all
We'll
want to
get-
bring all these other offensive line, Georgia Tech line, SMU line, this line. No.
We'll get to offense. We'll get to offense. Is there anything else y'all want to discuss on the defense? Because y'all are itching to get the offense. Is there anything else defensively y'all want to talk about?
No,
Can we please?
This is
I
my
just want to
question to
make
E.
sure.
Brown. This is my question to E. Brown. Are we going to have a top 12 defense next year, E. Brown?
Oh God.
No, we're not.
Okay. Let me see. Top 12.
I just want us to cover the edges, man. Good God, please.
You know what? I'm gonna do like the CCC. Get back with me after spring. I need to see who's gonna have the green down on the helmet.
And stop looking crazy whenever we get whenever teams go into motion. We act like we don't know what we doing.
I need to see who go. I need to see who's gonna have the green down on the helmet on this. And that'll let me know. I'll be able to answer that question then.
Well, based on that, bro, remember y'all picked on Kiko, right? I remember one game when they took Kiko out and let Chase Smith be the middle linebacker and be that green dot guy. And he was so confused. And I was like, dang, boy, it's something different when you got to be the quarterback of that defense. I was wondering, I was like, okay, Chase Smith, he getting a chance. I was happy for him. He was so confused. I said, oh, it's another animal out there when you got to be that quarterback of that defense.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Chris Kane, you want to answer that?
And let me can you hear the question again because it was breaking up a little bit.
Cuban asked, "Are we going to have a top 12 defense this year?"
Nah. I don't know what it's gonna be because again, I haven't seen this guy, and I'm not saying that we can't have a top 12 defense. I can't say we can't have a top 5 defense. I can't say that we'll have the last place defense. I can't say really anything. And the only reason why I say no is because I haven't seen it yet. Like I said, we need to see what it looks like during practice, green tree. We need to see all of these things before we can actually say yes, no, or whatever the case is. So I'm not okay. So let me rephrase my answer. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. Because we don't know what this guy's going to bring here. Because from what we've heard, and we love that sweet sound in our ears. That it makes us feel so much better when we get someone from another program, and from what they heard is all positivity. You know what I'm saying? And then when they get here, it looks like they just do crap up on the wall and then expect it to stick. But what I'm hearing, they said when he was at Rutgers, when he was at these different programs, when he was at James Madison, when he was at Minnesota, all of these different programs, he was saying they were saying, not him, they were saying that he came in year one, made a complete difference in a positive way. Everywhere he went, Minnesota brought them up from wherever they was ranked before, brought them up to the top, to the 5th ranked highest defense, the toughest defense in the country, or whatever the case is. Okay, that's cool. I want to see it here. You know what I'm saying? So for me to answer that question to you, Shad, and please remind me.
That's Cuban.
Cuban, remind me. Okay, that's Cuban's question. Remind me, Cuban, for us to come back to this question, and we got to see it on the field. So right now, to answer your question, sir, I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, Shad, I got a question. Just to stick with the defense. So this guy saw Big Ten offenses, right? They majority run what type of offense? That power stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's not what they run in the ACC. The defense is going to look good against Notre Dame, but the rest of the conference,
It might.
Yeah, but the rest is like you're going to deal with mobile quarterbacks because I don't know if they have a mobile quarterback in the Big Ten, right? You're gonna have to deal with fast guys as receivers, running backs. So I'm like, now that I'm thinking about it, the adjustment's going to be difficult year one.
Who are the mobile quarterbacks in the ACC we're going to face next year?
VTech,
I'm sure Notre Dame is gonna
Florida
have
State.
a quarterback.
I know Notre Dame is losing a lot from what I understand.
Yeah, but the
Yeah,
VTech quarterback, Drowns and Costello, Florida
Yeah.
State, right there. Those two.
is
There's two.
Jones coming back?
Yeah, he's coming back.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. You know who that is? That's Cam Ward's cousin,
Yeah.
from what I understand.
Kevin Jennings will be back for SMU, so he can move.
Right.
It's gonna be interesting to see because it is gonna be an adjustment. Calling the defense for a certain type of opponent versus swapping over and calling one to a more balanced type of situation. Because I was looking at the schedule and like they played Iowa and Michigan in back-to-back weeks, and both those teams combined only threw the ball 36 times. So that's gonna be interesting because you have teams now they throw the ball 36 times a game. But anyway, so that's the end of the defense. So we'll get over to the offense and we'll get out of here. So the initial question, because like I said, this is the first time we've convened. What do you think of the Carson Beck pickup? Studio, I'm gonna start with you. I need you to continue to tell us how good Carson Beck is. He walks away. He walks away at the wrong time. Brian, what about you? How good? What do you think about the Carson Beck pickup?
I think it was a needed option. We still have a good enough offense that can be competitive next year with the teams that we're gonna compete against. So we needed a quarterback that we're gonna feel confident with, that will have the confidence and the competence to play against some of the top tier football teams we're gonna play next year. So not to get back to the defense, but that's where our question mark is. The offense is our identity. Now that question was posed earlier about our identity. I think our identity is our offense. So, that's my opinion about it. I think it was a needed option.
Okay. You, McCain, what do you think of Carson Beck pick? And let's add in the aspect that he's gonna have an injury and he's really not gonna be involved in just like actual team bonding in terms of getting out on the field until the summertime. You know what I mean? So
Before I ask you the question, I got a question to ask Mr. Top 12. Mr. Top 12, you said that we have a good offense next year, right? Could you name me these good offensive players that we're going to have next year, sir?
We'll get to that. Ebron,
he said we had a good offense. I just want to ask him. All right, but to answer the question, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I'm not going to be like Studio and all these other people out here. When I saw Carson Beck against Florida, I'm like, this man is garbage. I am not going to be one of these people that said he was good. That dude is not that good. We should have settled for Ewers or somebody else. I am not a big fan of this Beck thing. Like I said, he reminds me a lot of Tyler Van Dyke. Like I said, I am not going to flip flop. I'm not going to be not because the Miami Hurricane. I'm not going to say he's the number one pick or Heisman. I'm not going to be Studio, right? I don't think he's that good. We could have done better with Ewers. So I didn't like the pickup. I'm not gonna BS nobody.
What about you, Chris Kane?
To be honest, y'all gonna hate me for this.
No, we're not.
Honestly, I don't know really how to feel because yeah, he went 24-3. Played on the SEC, played against talent, top tier talent, all this other kind of stuff. This is what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing, everything, right? But my thing is that you chose us. Why? Out of all the schools, you chose us. Why? Because of what we did with Cam Ward. But Cam Ward had that in him. That's a generational talent. That's somebody completely different. But the thing is with here is because you knew your draft stock was not going to be the best. Just like Cam Ward knew his draft stock wasn't going to be the best. So Cam came here to get his draft stock up to par. And we also needed a quarterback with some kind of veteran skills. Same thing with Carson Beck. Now, look where Cam Ward is, being the number one draft pick, because he wasn't going to be if he would have went in last year, and that's a fact.
Yeah.
Now, if Carson Beck performs the way he needs to, even though he won a national championship, even though he won a natty, he sat on the bench. But he was on the team.
Yeah.
So he won it, but he didn't contribute to it. Okay? Because you already had somebody in play for that. But my whole thing is that when you got into the game, they said crowd noise, they saying all of these different things don't have a factor or anything like that, and he played with ice in his veins. Okay. That Ole Miss game showed us a little something different than that ice. Looked like it melted a little bit. They said that, then they came up with the excuse of, well, he didn't have the type of line that protected him. This is Georgia. Are you kidding me? He didn't have a lot of weapons to throw to. Okay, I give you that. But don't sit there and say he didn't have no line. The weapons, yeah. How many people did they have compared to us?
His old line.
That's what it. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference. So you came here.
And then this receiver had 40 drops.
But see, here's my thing.
It was
30. But here's my thing. Here's my thing.
30, because that's what I did. I took 30 of those drops and added to his completions and made him a 72% quarterback.
I'm glad
glad
you said that, Studio. But Chris K, finish what you said. I asked Studio about that because he said that on Coach.
So my whole thing is I don't know how to feel about it because I got to see him play in orange and green. I got to see him gel with us. I don't feel bad about it. I just got to see it. I mean, I would say it's all right. He's cool. You know, he has some hiccups he got to work on, just like there's no perfect quarterback. You just have to have the perfect quarterback for the right scheme. You have to have a flawed quarterback for the right scheme. There's no perfect quarterback. So he work on those flawed errors, he'll be all right. But I just got to see it, man. Just got to see it.
Well, definitely. All right. So Studio, I heard you bring it up on Coach Hayes' show, and I may mention it on a video I did earlier.
Now let's do the answer the question first. He didn't answer it because he was on.
Studio, tell us how good Carson Beck is some more.
How good he is?
Yeah, keep telling us how good he is.
He without, I mean, he was projected as a first top draft. He was higher projected draft pick than Cam Ward.
Yeah,
Cam Ward had that season obviously boosted stock up. Being like, man, I could do the same thing. My stock dropped a little bit, had a little slide. My team kind of, we all stumbled.
TBD
had motivation this year.
TBD had the same type of draft stock, by the way.
Huh?
TBD had the same type of draft stock.
Yeah.
So Studio, let me ask you this, right? Shout out to my dog QB. I know you're in the chat. I don't know if you're still here, right? My dog QB brought up an interesting point about Carson Beck, in which over a 4-game span, just this past season, he threw 9 interceptions in a 4-game span.
Looks just like TVD. I mentioned that. I said, looks
very
like
TVD-ish. Very TVD-ish.
So I'm asking. So I'm just asking, Studio. Does that concern you?
I asked that question. I said, is it that? So I had to ask that and go back and look at the differences. Now, I ain't gonna sit here and say I watched every game Beck did. Like I saw every game Tyler Van Dyke. I saw every game Tyler Van Dyke of those interceptions. Okay.
Some of that was just 2 people out on routes. I remember one game and specifically threw an interception. It was only 2 receivers out on routes.
Okay. So one big difference I see, Beck is willing to razzle dazzle with his legs. TVD was kind of reluctant to run.
But Studio, to be fair, we watched the same games. Did we not hear the announcers say that Tyler Van Dyke, the muscle, had torn away from the bone, like, or the skin or whatever, like it's just free hanging in there. You
I'll be right
remember
back,
that?
fellas. Be
Well,
right back.
then that makes us feel better about Beck, because then that explains why he had that down splight or whatever.
Beck wasn't hurt.
No, I'm talking about TVD. You know what I'm saying? Because we was like, is this TVD probably was really a first rounder? You know, the injury derailed them. So we shouldn't be afraid that we bet this projected first rounder is going to fail us too.
I don't think you're gonna fail us. I mean, I don't.
If he had that pick, the same pick that TVD had and he had, that'll be a failure.
So let me ask you a question, Studio, because I brought this up on my video earlier. Do you feel that it would be a quarterback controversy if one of the quarterbacks that's participating in the spring wows the coaches?
No, because the only one I would say that may have that is Emory. But the other one's freshmen. They know their pecking order. They know.
I'm just saying though, because Studio, we're all fans of Miami. We remember the 2014 season. Brad Kaya showed up in the spring. The summer. Wowed the coaching staff. Ryan Wills was supposed to be the incumbent because he had sat and waited his turn behind Stephen Morris. Obviously, he ended up getting hurt, but he was ready to play for the first game. Al Golden and company said, hey, look, this freshman has played so well in such a short period of time. We're going to roll with him. But obviously, there's a lot more money on the line now with Carson Beck. But do you feel that if they wow, if one of them, whether it's Emory, whether it's Judd, whether it's Luke, if they wow the coaching staff, do we have a controversy?
The only controversy we have is our defense. Is it fixed?
No. I'm just no. We doing
no,
this.
it's not.
I'm just asking you the specific question. If they wow the coaches in Carson Beck not being able to participate, do we have a controversy going in the fall camp?
All right, Shad, you brought me here on the show to be the honest. We know this coaching staff, there is no competition, right? There's given positions with this coaching staff. There is no competing. So, Emory could look like damn on the field. He's not going to start.
I understand that.
There is no competition on this field. The position.
Listen, I know this, but I'm just saying, is money on the line? Players have a lot more power now than they did. If one of them guys plays very well in the spring while Carson Beck isn't there and they roll Carson Beck out there, you have you have a much larger problem on your hand, because now the team is like, look, he's better. Why is he out here? That's all I'm saying.
The only way that happens if he stinks up at Notre Dame the first game, and then we'd be like, wait a minute, what about that freshman? Then we got something going on.
I got you.
But not beforehand.
I got you.
Jack, we had Damari Hill start at University of Miami, right?
Who is
no competition? That's a cornerback, right?
Oh, you talking about
high school, right?
He going to Wisconsin. Luke Fickle must have saw something.
Yeah, but there is no competition in this program. That's one of the main reasons that I have a problem with this coaching. It's like,
I think it's competition in certain positions.
Yeah.
Like what? Like what?
Running back, cornerback.
No, running backs is already set. We know who running back's going to be.
I think it's a competition. I think it was a competition this year, offensive line, for the left tackle position.
No, it was just an injury position. It was, Rivers is hurt, and then
but I do think
in that guard spot, in that left guard spot.
Because I think obviously we know the high dollar positions like the quarterback, anywhere a high dollar amount of money is spent, we know that look, you're the incumbent until you have to be on the field until we wind all the way down like they did Tyler Barron, like where against what it was Wake Forest, he only played like 4 snaps that game, or was it Georgia Tech, one of the two? And then like the very next week against Syracuse, he jumped back in gear and he looked like the guy that we saw the first 2 weeks of the season. So but aside from that, I mean, I do think I think it's going to have to be some competition at linebacker because you don't have a high dollar portal
We
guy.
know who the starting linebacker is. Popo and Buscini. We know the starting linebackers, right? It's Popo and Buscini.
I don't know that. I don't know that.
Make a bet, Shad?
I don't know that.
I haven't seen the spring game yet. I'm willing to bet. Let's make a $5 bet on that.
I mean, I'm not going to deny what you're saying. They do have the upper hand, but that don't mean they're gonna be the 2 guys that tried out there on the field against Notre Dame. Because my thing about Popo is like, yes, they say you're very talented, but like you were not able to take enough snaps away from Kiko. And we knew Kiko specifically had regressed, and they were able to game plan to make him pretty much inefficient in a lot of games, but you were not in a position to take snaps away from him. He still played the most snaps on defense last year.
But when you consider Kiko one of them, because I think he came back for some money, right?
That's terrible that he came back for money. He didn't look good.
Yeah, I mean it's a gamble for everybody. You can raise your stocks, and sometimes it might not work out as good, and then your stocks can lower too. So it's a gamble.
Yeah, but like I said, getting back on the offensive side. Like I said, we pretty much know what we're gonna probably do offensively. Run the ball. I mean, like I said, like we've pretty much come to the conclusion. That's kind of what we're gonna do. Offensive question. Who do you guys feel like is going to be the number 1 receiver next year? Ebron, I'll start with you.
Man, I think Trader will be the number 1 receiver, but I think you may get a surprise out of that young group that may show up and play a little. I'm counting on Robinson. I'm counting on Robinson to step up this coming spring.
Yeah, because he didn't play. He didn't really play that much, did he? I don't think he played any games. Yeah, I didn't see like much he logged any time. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what he does. Okay, Studio. What about you?
That's a tough one, boy, because that lets you know we got a problem at receiver. We can't really have come up with a name right off the top of our head.
What I miss?
Trader, maybe it looks like him. Everybody else is unknown.
Wait, say what was the question now?
No, just asking who you feel like is going to be the number 1 receiver next year.
Oh.
But again, but this is the thing about it. If Shannon Dawson is running his offense, the offense that he's brought here, we know the slot guy is going to be the guy. It's not going to be an outside guy. So it's going to be more so the fact, would they put JoJo Trader in the slot position over Ray or whoever is supposed to be the slot guy? Because I feel like that person right there is the person that is the number 1 guy from a receiver standpoint. I just don't see them moving to the outside guy being the number 1 guy after what Xavier Strepper did the past 2 years. That's the main.
Ray's got to pick it up if he wants to play. He's got to pick it up.
For real.
He did not play very well at all last year.
You see, this is why I have to call out Ebron. Ebron just a second ago said this was a great offense, and we're struggling here to name a damn receiver to be the leader. How could Ebron is the problem with the Canes fans, right? Ebron is one of these people who says, "Oh, we're going to be elite, we're going to be great." Then next thing you know, it's like, I need an answer. I can't give you an answer there, sir. So
you see, Cuban. Cuban is the type of guy that you need on your coaching staff. because you know what? He's gonna keep you always thinking and wondering about your decision. And that's because he's gonna question every freaking decision that you make. He's gonna
You ain't lying.
question
Hey,
it.
you'll be better for
But
it.
And
but the thing is,
sometimes
that's
he
good.
comes up with a valid point. But then sometimes it's like you're talking to Forrest Gump. I mean,
Damn.
Wow.
But,
okay.
but
So
hold on, Ebron,
just now,
Ebron, you just said we have a good offense, and you're struggling to give me a top receiver name. How am I supposed to take that information?
well, but because last year we had that same question about our wide receivers.
No, we did not.
We had the same question.
No, we did
Yes,
not.
we did.
We knew who the answer was. It was going to be Restrepo or Xavier. We knew that answer. It was clear cut.
No, it was Restrepo. Restrepo. It was a debate between Restrepo and whoever.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, yeah, media members did try to insert Sam Brown in there, but again, like I said, nothing about Shannon Dawson and the offenses that he's coordinated said anything about an outside receiver was going to be the primary guy. So,
But we're stout where we need to be from an offensive standpoint. Offensive line, quarterback, and running back. Offensive line, quarterback, and running back. And our tight ends are in that young tight end, the young kid from Nevada. Forget his name, but
Elijah
Lofton. I think we're pretty good at those positions that will keep us in the game, keep us in those games that we're going to have to be competitive in. We're playing some tough teams next year, guys. We're playing some really tough teams next year, and those positions, running back, quarterback, offensive line, and tight end, are going to be the positions on offense that we're going to have to look up to in order to score points. But our wide receivers are going to have to pick. They're going to have to pick it up. Ray Joseph. Ray is not going to get on the field if he played the way he played last year. He's not going to get on the field, and that's not saying that we're not going to have a good offense, Cuban. It's just saying that that's one player out of many that needs to step it up a little bit.
So Chris Kane, what do you think? Do you think it's gonna be the slot guy, or do you think it's you going with JoJo as well?
I don't know. I mean, we got to see what they got out there. Who do we have out there that gonna step up? That's the question. Because we can think all day methodically, about what we want and who we want to see, but we got to have somebody else to step up. You know what I'm saying? Who is that person going to be? Is it going to be JoJo? Is it going to be Isaiah Horton? Oh, no, I forgot. We went to Bama. How we let him get away? Let's see. Is it going to be Ray? Is he going to be able to be that guy to step up? We got a lot to prove because we can say who we want, but if they don't step up, I mean, it's irrelevant. So to be honest, I just want to see somebody step up. To be honest, I don't give a damn who it is. Just step the hell up and just play damn ball. Win these games. Catch the ball. Your ass is out there to do one job. Catch the ball, please.
Well, you gotta remember. We gotta remember that the transfer portal will open up right after the spring practice, and there are wide receivers out there that have an interest in Miami. Now that we have a quarterback that they feel that they can get them the football, you may get some quarterbacks who will come in from the transfer portal, from the portal standpoint, after the spring practice and spring games. So the opportunity to acquire a good wide receiver is still out there. Somebody who may decide, okay, listen, I'm going to go to University of Miami, and I'm going to become the Isaiah Horton or Xavier Restrepo. So those options are still out there.
That's great.
Hold on,
That's great. But I mean,
one question. So Mr. Top 12 said that I was Forrest Gump, right? But Mr. Top 12 is like Donald Trump, right? Tells you one thing one time, but then when it actually happens, it's a different thing, right? So he tells you that we have a top 12 defense, but he tells you that we have a top offense, but now we need to be in the portal to go get a receiver. You cannot say that we have talent and then say that in the same sentence later on say we got to go get more talent in the portal. If you have talent, you don't need to be in the portal trying to find any players. So,
well, that's not true. That's not true because look at Alabama. Alabama came into Miami and took a wide receiver. Georgia has gone into the portal, going to other schools and taking talent away to bring them to their team. So that's not true because other teams, those top tier teams, they have talent. However, they still go into other teams and they selectively select talent or select a person that will improve the football team. There's nothing wrong with that, Cuban. I mean, like I said, Cuban will keep me straight. So I gotta always monitor what I say when I'm Cuban around.
No, you don't need to monitor. You don't need to monitor. If you do that, I apologize, man. I never want people to feel like uncomfortable around me, and I did that. I apologize.
No. That's not an uncomfortable feeling. That's a great feeling when you got somebody that can always keep you on your toes. You gotta always be on your toes, man.
But this is one thing that I asked E. Brown. Outside of Cam Ward, what good transfer portal have we had come to Miami in the past couple of years? You're saying that Bama's gotten these players, so on and so forth. We've only had one good player come to the portal, and that's Cam. Everybody else has been okay or a bust.
Well, you know what? The reason why I'm hesitating is because I'm trying to think back the last 3 years. Who came in from the transfer portal from Mario's regime tenure, and who came in from Manny's tenure from the transfer portal? And there was a question raised earlier about who's better, Mario or Manny. Manny's record in 3 years was 21-15. Mario's record right now is 22 and what? I mean, it's just like a 1 or 2 games.
Like 22-16 or something like that.
Just like that.
Something like that. Something like that.
So if we're gonna go by numbers, because I'm generated by numbers here, Cuban. Mario has won more games in 3 years than so did Manny. But your question was centered around who came in from the transfer portal.
But before you go there, E. Brown, it's do nerd talk now. Percentage wise, Manny had a better record.
Well, I don't know.
We're not gonna do it. We're gonna stop this. We're gonna stop it. Like I say, that conversation go on and on.
Okay, I'm gonna give Cuban. I give Cuban the kudos for that one, but I just wanted to say that.
We've been here hour 40. We'll get some final thoughts, baby. We'll get on up out of here. Like I said, I love the camaraderie, the conversations. But what are you guys' final thoughts, Cuban? Elite Cuban. I call you Elite Cuban to finish it out.
Yeah. Anthony was the top 5 player of all time, better than Kobe, better than LeBron. And just stop the hate, Shaq. You know what I'm saying? I see the hate. There's no need for that. He's an elite player. I don't know who your basketball. You don't have a basketball team, but I wish I knew who your basketball team was.
Hey, you know what? I was pondering on it. I said he gonna eventually ask me one day, "Who's my team?" And I gotta find the answer. And I got one. My basketball team is the 1996 Chicago Bulls.
Okay. And Anthony Edwards way better than anything Michael Jordan has ever done.
You smoking crack now.
Good night. Good night to that one, Cuban. I know Cuban didn't make that statement. Good night, Cuban.
It's time to go now. Ain't no way. I'm gone. I'm gone.
Cuban tired, man. Cuban tired right now.
Man, because Shad just tweets me every time about Anthony Edwards, man. And it's like, I gotta get back at him.
I'm just trying to see what the hype is about. You know what I'm saying? Like when they play teams over 500,
my serious word is let's stop saying this guy is the greatest portal guy in the world, the greatest coach in the world. Then when they're out of here, he was trash. Like we need to stop that as a fan base, man. That shit is getting annoying. I see everybody saying Evil Eyes is amazing, and the guy we got from Wisconsin is amazing. And if they turn out to be bad, don't kill them when they're out of here. So
You got to. The praise has to be turned to negativity. Anthony, what you got? Because we're about to close out. Just what?
Hey,
any
fellas.
thoughts you got?
me and Cuban talk about this all the time on DMs, and I'm like, sometimes I can't tell if he's being serious or if it's sarcasm. Like I can't really tell.
All of
with
the
Cuban.
above, man. All of the above.
all your bundle.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's a-
no, but I
he's a
agree with you.
Dolphins
Our
fan,
fan
so
base
you gotta-
puts Mario on this pedestal that he hasn't really earned yet, to be honest. I think it's just because he comes from like Alabama, and people don't realize Saban was the one recruiting all these players and developing them, not Mario. Like, and I think that's where the disillusion, like the delusion comes from, or like the unworthy praise that Mario gets from certain parts of our fan base. Do you agree,
Anthony,
Cuban? Or
Anthony, you just proved one thing, Anthony. You have been talking to Cuban too long.
Stop it.
Oh man,
no, I'm starting to I'm not following anything Cuban says. I'm just starting to realize that some of our fan base has this unrealistic expectation for Mario.
they're living vicariously through the man. That's all it is. That's all. Some of them are living vicariously through. I mean, it's cool.
And I
Anything
think that's
else?
what's happened in general with our fame. Like when we hire a coach, we have this unrealistic. Like we had it with Randy Shannon for a little bit. Remember when we first hired Shannon? It was the same thing. Then Manny for a little bit too, because he was our DC the year before. We expected him to be a great head coach, and that doesn't always work.
Yeah.
I think Mario's a good position coach. Like, but I don't think he's designed, like, he's not really meant to be a head coach. Like there's guys who can be great position coaches and stuff like that, but not good. It's like coordinators. There's great coordinators that are not meant to be head coaches. The perfect example of that is Brett Venables from Oklahoma. They're going to be firing him next year, and Ohio State fans are already panicking. They might fire what's his name, even though he's in the national championship, Ryan Day, because of his track record against Michigan the last 3 years and stuff like that. So, like position coaches, just because you're a great position coach or a coordinator, doesn't necessarily mean it translates well as a head coach. Do you guys agree, or?
I think yeah.
That's true because Dan Mullen is a good point. Will Muschamp is another good point. Great offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator will take their offensive defense any day of the week. When it comes to them daggone head coaching, no bueno.
Yeah, I think it's personality in general. A guy like Dan Mullen is way too arrogant. He wants to control, and I think that's what's happening with Mario. He wants to control everything and micromanage everything instead of letting his
You can't even fit those type of shoes in order to do that. You can't do that, bro. Because you don't know the offensive side of the ball. You don't know the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah,
Like,
no, that's what I'm saying. That's what great head coaches do. Like Saban knows that's what made Saban great. He was able to delegate everything. And so
yeah, but you know what though, Anthony? He also had great coordinators around him. A head coach is only as good as his coordinators and his team around him. That's why Saban is.
But isn't the coach the one hiring them?
Yeah, but Mario like yes man, but we gonna see how much of a yes man this dude is. If he is one, because he don't look like he is. He looked like he came straight from Underworld, like he was one of the Lycans or something.
Yeah, the guy looks like a berserker, but Viking berserker. To be honest,
He looked like he came from straight Underworld, Rise of the Lycans. For real.
When you look at him, do you guys, if you're being coached by, would you be scared if that guy was your coach?
No,
If you were a young kid?
Nah,
no.
nah.
Because
Especially,
one thing about it, accountability is everything. If he's
yeah.
gonna hold me accountable, that's what I want. That's what I need.
And look who he came from. Greg Schiano was his mentor.
Right. And who came from there too? Mario. It seemed like everywhere Mario come from, everybody else gets it but him. That's what it seems like.
No, Mario came from
Nick Saban, Graciano. He came from
Mario learned under the coach. He learned under main coach was the guy who was he learned from Kehoe. That's who his mentor was because he's offensive line.
Yeah, Art Kehoe was an offensive mind. Mario is just an decorated offensive lineman with a headset. I've always said that, and I meant that.
And guys, when you look at the coaches in the NFL and in college in general, why is it that it's always defensive line, and offensive line? You never see a skill position like a quarterback or a receiver, running back, or DB or linebacker become a head coach. It's rare, but in general, you see linemen become head coaches. Why is that?
Because they understand the fundamentals of what it is to be in the trenches.
Saban
They actually learn.
Saban is the only guy who I've known to be successful as a former DB, as a head coach, and stuff like that.
Hey.
Good point.
I mean that's debatable because I mean I know you guys are gonna say that's old, but Don Shula was a defensive back. I mean he was a top-notch coach. So was Chuck Noll. Chuck Knowles. You had
you're bringing up rare cases, but the majority of Super Bowl winners, when you look at the position they played throughout their football career, Vince Lombardi was a defensive lineman. The guy for Landry was a defensive line. I think he was linebacker or defensive line.
No, you talking about Tom Landry?
Yeah, Landry
Tom Landry was a defensive back for the New York Giants.
He was?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. The coach, Tom Coughlin, was an offensive lineman.
Tom Coughlin, coach, offensive line.
Don't test Steve Brown. He's gonna know the history because he's been on forever.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying, and when you look at the Hall of Fame coaches, it's rare that you see a skill position. It's always a lineman being the good head coach and stuff.
Well, Mike Dicker played tight end. That's a skill position. He won the Super Bowl.
But he was a blocking. He was an extra. When he played, he was basically an extra offensive lineman because they rarely were receivers. They were basically a blocker. His whole career, he even admitted he was basically a six offensive lineman. His whole career, he was a glorified offensive lineman his whole career.
But he won though. But he won at the highest level.
No, but what I'm saying, when you look at the history of the guys who became good head coaches, it's rarely skill positions and stuff like that. You agree?
I got
you. Yeah.
I mean, from what it is it's not a yes or no. The facts is right there. So if that's what that is, then that's what it is. That's what we've had during history. I haven't had anything else but that, correct?
Yeah.
Because that's what they've shown.
Who do you guys like? Who else do you guys think leaves? Do you think JT is going to leave and become a head coach?
Eventually,
a position coach in the NFL.
Oh, I don't.
Maybe.
Come on, now, you guys. Come on now, you can't be serious. You can't be serious.
JT. Jason Taylor.
You can't be serious. Jason Taylor. That defense sucked, and he was a part of it.
He was. You're right, Brian. He was a part of it. You're right. You're right. But like I said, guys, we gotta wrap this up, man. You know, like I said, I like the camaraderie. Anthony came and went. Studio, what last words do you have?
Listen, man. All I can say is we got some good things to look at on the spring. We want to see defense dominate. Remember last year we was like, oh, the offense won this week, the defense won, and we was like wondering. I want to see the play straight domination by the defense this spring. I'll worry about the offense.
Okay. Chris Kane. Final word.
Win your game, please. Win your game. Don't put yourself in these type of positions. Catch the ball. Do your job. For the love of the Lord, for crying out loud, can we please get a natty somewhere? I'll take an ACC championship right now. Okay, just put yourselves in the right positions. Don't do dumb stuff. Play your assignment. Communicate. Stop looking lost when other teams go in motion. Stop looking lost when you're in practice and your own teammates go in motion. Just win your damn games, please. All I ask. That's it. Now I'm going to bed because I'm stressed out.
All right. Ebro, you got your final words.
Hey, listen, everybody made some good points, man. There's nothing else for me to add. Man. Everybody made some good points tonight.
Appreciate you guys hopping on. Appreciate everybody in the chat. My final words are, can't wait for the spring. So,
Lord Jesus.
in the words of South Coast Kane, peace, love, and soul. Peace.
I'm out.